Right now we're going to take a look at how to configure our project on iTree Streets. And to do that we need to have our iTree manual available. We also want to have some basic information about our town budget. And once we have that information we can configure our data sets, and then after we do that we're going to send that configuration over to the PDA so we can work in the field. So you can follow along with us on the computer just to get a basic sense of how to run through the configuration process. So once we have iTree opened up, we're going to click File and open a new project. In here we have a data field that's asking us to specify the file. So we're going to call this file Amherst Inventory. Then it's asking us for the name, so we'll call this Amherst Inventory here again. And it's going to be a complete inventory, and then it's asking us for the climate region. So we're going to click on this map here to help us specify the climate. Once we see the map, we can see that the USDA classifies our climate as the Northeast. So we can close that and then enter the Northeast in here. Then we'll click Finish. In the next menu, it's asking us to define our city. So we've took the liberty into filling our information of our town, but it's pretty much just asking the name of the city, the county, state, and country. It is also asking us to state the town budget, or the municipal budget, the population, the total land area, street width, number of miles of streets, and the average sidewalk. So now that we filled that out, we'll click OK. In the next menu, it's asking us to define the budget and cost of the trees in the town. So if you have some budget numbers, just fill them in accordingly, and we'll move on to the next menu. In the next menu, it's giving us some default figures for the cost of electricity, gas, and other resources. So we're just going to keep with the defaults and go to the next menu. In this menu, it asks us to define the parameters of our inventory. So this is an important part in our inventory, so we're going to go through this clearly. In this menu, it's giving us the opportunity to define the parameters of our inventory. So in this first tab, we can define the certain aspects of the inventory we'd like to do. So we're going to do public and private trees, maintenance information, land use, sidewalk damage, condition, and wire conflicts. But we also want to click on pest signs and symptoms. This is a new feature in the iPad addition to iTree Suite. And then for the inventory details, we also want to include the street address, the surveyor name, so we can keep track of our surveyors, and the date that it was surveyed. And then also at the top we notice that there are some other tabs that allow us to set the parameters for our data. So we can click on DBH, and it just gives us a range of certain DBHs in our field. And we're going to stick to the defaults on this one. We could also just take a look around. These are the parameters for the condition of the tree. Also we have streets, and that would be the names and numbers of the streets. And we can also look at the land use and maintenance parameters. So right now this looks pretty good for our inventory, so we're just going to stay with the defaults, but we're also going to add the pest parameter. So we can just click OK. Now that we've configured our project, we're going to send our configuration over to the PDA so we can work with it in the field. And to do that, we'll click the Tools menu at the top, and then click Work with PDA. It'll take a couple seconds to sync up to your PDA. But once it has, we're going to click this tab down here at the bottom, and that says Send Project Configuration to PDA. It'll bring up this menu just to make sure that the program isn't already running. So we'll click OK to that. And then we'll get another menu that says that we've successfully been updated. And that's it for configuring our project for now. In the next segment, we'll take a look at how to inspect a mature tree, and also how to use the PDA in the field.